I have fond memories of my time at Anderson. I was lucky enough to be in the first cohort for the Educators MBA program, and my cohort was full of intelligent, funny people. As educators, we're used to reading certain authors and discussing leadership from a certain perspective, but the Anderson School had a very different philosophy and a new perspective, and this afforded us many opportunities to engage with the professors. I especially enjoyed Robert Del Campo and Riley White. They pushed back when we challenged them, and it led to really positive, spirited conversations. My motivation, both personally and professionally, comes from my family. I have a wonderful wife that is much better at this work than I am. Our 2 sons are smarter than I'll ever be. And my mother and my sister and their family live in Albuquerque, and I want them to be proud of the work I do and the impact I make. I believe in the value of public schools and the tremendous importance they have in our country. Nobody else does what American schools do in terms of taking in everybody, regardless of who they are or what issues they have, and offering them an opportunity to learn. I know that we can do better by our children in Albuquerque, and I work as hard as I can to make that happen. If current Anderson students look to me for advice, I'd say there are a number of elements for successful leadership. First, it's important to be well versed in your content, but you don't always have to be the smartest or the most knowledgeable. It really is okay to have people smarter than you work for you. Secondly, it's important to listen. Some of the best decisions I've made happened because someone in the field gave me an idea. Many times people know what needs to happen, but they don't know how to make it happen. By virtue of my position as a principal or a superintendent, I can gather the resources to make positive changes in the organization, but the genesis of the work came from someone else. I also think it's important to share credit when this happens. And finally, remember that being in charge can be exhilarating, but it's also scary at times. Hard choices are hard, and it can be easy to think about putting things off. But successful leaders learn to make the tough call at the correct time. And while it's important not to rush, there comes a time when you have to move forward. If I could offer wisdom to my younger self, I would advise myself to be kinder to people. I try to be a decent human being, but I know there were times when I was not. Like most of us when we're young, I was pretty self-absorbed, and I didn't always think about what others might be struggling with. Kindness is a habit that seems to be fading more and more from this world, and I encourage myself to remember how important it is. I want to thank Anderson for this recognition as a Hall of Fame honoree.